This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Mike's Diabetes World. Today, we're going to talk to you about some stuff, but first things first. Let's do that. But let's get this. This is a much better one to pull things up on. Blood sugar right now is at 7.3. Blood sugar is at 89. So pretty good. Now, all these numbers that this gives out don't necessarily match a finger poke. And the reason for that is because there are two different variables depending on where they're taken from. Okay. Glucose. Your glucose blood sugar is actually the sugar that is in your blood right now. It's roaming around. It's looking for cells where insulin can open that magical door and get in and be used as energy. On the other hand, there's sensor sugar. And the sensor sugar is this number. If I do a finger poke, it won't necessarily match this number. Sometimes you do perfectly, other times you find where you're not. And you really have to think, well, what's the point of having a sensor? It doesn't really tell you anything. This is where you're wrong. Your sensor sugars can tell you what your trends are. Are you going up or are you going down? Let me get this. This is probably better. It can tell you when you're going up, when you're coming down. It can also, when you need to take action. In fact, if I took my blood sugar here and I was heading up, I wouldn't eat more. I would take a shot to bring me down. And that's what I actually did. Now, just what time are we looking here? Yesterday, I came up just to sort of around dinner time, came back down, that was probably with correction, and then headed up. If you take a look here, yesterday, and you take a look up there, you will notice those blue lines. On a closed-loop system, that is my pump giving me corrections. The pink is for your basal rate and how much basal. Sorry, this is a little command prompt. But again, noticing, am I coming down quickly? Am I going to crash? Maybe you need to treat a little bit higher before you really crash. Now, cellular sugar usually lags behind glucose, and you're thinking of two railroad cars. You have your BG here, and you have your SG here. Your BG goes up, 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 up. And when you take a blood test, you're reading this number. The cellular sugar follows a bit behind this number. This one could read what it was a few minutes ago. And if it comes down, vice versa. This number is showing lower than this number. As it is right now, they don't have a sensor sugar that will be close to a cellular sugar. I don't care if you're using the Medtronic, the Dexcom, or any other closed loop system. You're always going to have your sensor sugar, which is different. Let's just take a look here. I'm showing here at 7. Oops. Let's get this taken care of. I'm showing 7.6. Let's do a blood test and see. So what we're recording here is what my cellular sugar. Now I sanitize my hands before, and I'm just going to do a quick test. So my glucose is actually 8.7. So that means it's increased a bit. So, I don't know, in 15, 20 minutes, my glucose number can become my cellular number. Let's just send it and we'll get it calibrated. Now, why do we need to calibrate our pumps? Well, the sensor now, calibration is just a way of setting a clock. So here we have 8.7. We press yes, and the middle button, and BG. If you notice, the ring is gone while this is calibrating. So this number is showing what I am now. It will revert to a sensor sugar. I keep trying to call it cellular sugar. Wrong. The sensor glucose reading. And that is now 7.8. So you see we are meeting up. You need to just keep an eye on it. If I start going up like this, I'm going to have to do a correction. But it pretty well, my bodies and my pump will work together to keep me in the zone. Maybe one day I'll have that 100%. But remember, there is no perfect diabetic. We just talked about that. So remember, your glucose sugar is the amount that's of sugar that is actually rotating in your body. Your SG, or your sugar glucose, or sensor glucose, is the amount that your sensor is reading. And the reason for this, I don't think I said this before. Your glucose sugar is the sugar that's being released from what you eat into your body. It's the amount of glucose that has been used by your body. You eat a large meal, it's going to be higher. Your sensor sugar, now between your blood vessels and your skin is cells, and in the liquid around those cells is the amount you're reading. So you got your glucose and then you have your cells. So when you put your sensor in, the sensor is reading the amount in the cellular sugar. So, can you use the sensor glucose? You can a lot too, as long as you keep it up and you are recording what your blood glucose is. You can sort of see. A lot of times I will just take that. If this is drop low, I will treat. Oh my God, you're treating? Oh no. I treat anything under 6. That is my stable number. So if this is showing that, and I don't have access to my glucometer right on the money, then I will take that number. If I do have my glucose out and about, I will take that number. You get used to these too and how they work with your body. Just remember that. It'll all help you control your diabetes so your diabetes doesn't control you. And with that, have a super day, and we'll talk later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.